I will now call the December 2nd, 2018 Blue Springs City Council meeting to order. If you would stand with me, observe a moment of silence, and I will lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. I want to welcome you in attendance as well as those that might watch YouTube later. Next, we have a consent agenda. Unless there are items that need to be pulled, I accept a motion for approval.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Kaler.
Aye.
Levacy.
Aye.
Fowler.
Aye.
Erickson.
Aye.
Edmondson.
Aye.
Culpepper.
Aye.
Mayor Ross.
Aye.
Carried unanimously.
Next, we have introduction reading of bill number 4715. Who would like to introduce it?
I'll introduce, Your Honor.
First reading of bill number 4715, an ordinance amending ordinance number 4633, final plat for Colonial Gardens first plat.
Your Honor, move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All same sign?
Second reading of bill number 4715, an ordinance amending ordinance number 4633, final plat for Colonial Gardens first plat.
Your Honor, move the bill be approved on its second and final reading and assign the appropriate ordinance number.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Levacy.
Aye.
Fowler.
Aye.
Erickson.
Aye.
Edmondson.
Aye.
Culpepper.
Aye.
Kaler.
Aye.
Mayor Ross.
Aye.
Carried unanimously, given ordinance number 4873.
Next, we have introduction and reading of bill number 4716.
I'll introduce, Your Honor.
Okay.
First reading of bill number 4716, an ordinance appointing presiding municipal judge and establishing compensation therefore.
Your Honor, move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All same sign?
Second reading of bill number 4716, an ordinance appointing presiding municipal judge and establishing compensation therefore.
Your Honor, move the bill be approved on its second reading and assign the appropriate ordinance number.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Fowler.
Aye.
Erickson.
Aye.
Edmondson.
Aye.
Culpepper.
Aye.
Kaler.
Aye.
Levacy.
Aye.
Mayor Ross.
Aye.
Carried unanimously, given ordinance number 4874.
Now you're scaring people walking out in the audience. They think it's a collection plate.
He did want to do that at their graduation.
Yeah.
Okay. Normally, before I pass the collection plate, I sing a hymn. So well, for those who don't know, I'm going to introduce you to our new presiding judge in our municipal court, who is presently serving as a judge, but she just got elevated to presiding judge, Judge Stephanie Taramino, and her husband Mark, who's been a long-time friend. And we have other family members here, I would imagine. Would you like to introduce them?
This is my other husband, David John, very close friend. My niece Sophie, my cousin sister Jenny, my nephew Drew, and my what do I call him? The significant other. She's the better half. Hello.
Oh, we got some back there too.
Okay, Heather, my sister cousin. I say that because they're like my sisters. Molly, my niece, and my aunt, mother, friends, everything to me. Marsha.
Okay.
I'm glad there's no drama regarding everybody here.
Well, we want to congratulate you. We know you do a great job, as you've always done since you've been appointed judge. And also to the family, we're very proud of what she does and will continue to do. And I also want to invite you, we normally don't have a lot of people at council meetings, so we invite you to come back at the next one, which will be the third Monday. This every third Monday, you guys got an open invitation from the mayor to come back and sit in this audience at the council meeting. But anyway, we're going to take a picture here. Mark, do you want to stand and get a good shot? All right. Well, congratulations, Judge. Before I go back up, tomorrow night at 5:30 is the Mayor's Christmas tree lighting ceremony. Activities includes hot chocolate, cookies, hot dogs, crafts. Santa and Mrs. Santa will be coming in his Santa-mobile, and fireworks. So don't miss it. If you have a chance, come out and enjoy the lighting of the Christmas tree and the buildings. We're going to light this building and also the newly renovated City Hall. So everybody's invited. Tell your neighbors and friends. Okay, now on with the business at hand. Next, we have a presentation by the Eastern Jackson County Shared Services Initiative, and we're going to go to our own Assistant City Administrator, Ms. Christine Cates, to introduce your guest.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. Thank you for the opportunity to share the Eastern Jackson County Shared Services Year 1 report. The team presenting to you this evening include Lauren Palmer, Director of Local Government Services at Mid-America Regional Council, Brian Kidney, the Director of Finance and Administration at the City of Independence, and Chris Klubine, Management Analyst from the City of Lee Summit. And also attending our roadshow is Melissa Bellino. She works in the HR department at Independence as well. This initiative was started in early 2018 when the city managers in Blue Springs, Independence, and Lee Summit expressed interest in advancing shared services. At the November 19, 2018 City Council meeting, this council approved Resolution 99-2018 that included a statement of common purpose emphasizing government innovation and collaborative problem solving. The statement itself references our close proximity and our common borders, our established ongoing cooperative relationships, professional relationships among professional staff and governing bodies, the potential to scale to other communities, and the assistance from Mark to facilitate our discussions and keep us organized. And we also owe a separate big thank you to Lauren Palmer for keeping us all organized and working together on this.
Thank you, Christine. Mark was very pleased to be asked to assist with this work. Mark has a strategic emphasis on shared services and a history of responding to needs from sub-regional coalitions. Our mission is very simple. We try to work to help our member cities and counties identify ways that they can deliver services more efficiently and effectively by working together instead of everyone trying to accomplish those services on their own. And in approaching this work, we always try to remain sensitive to each community's unique character and also to the need for local control. This is very hard work, so I applaud you and the other two cities for engaging in this initiative. It's really hard to break free from routines and to think about delivering services in different ways. But our region has had great success with this. The slide lists just a few examples that Mark has helped develop over the years. Each of these examples has a story of the region responding to an identified need that no single community could have accomplished adequately on its own. Many of these services were considered revolutionary at the time, but they are now commonly accepted standards of how we do business in our region. Communities are motivated to explore shared services by a variety of factors. Alleviating fiscal stress by generating savings through economies of scale is commonly cited as one reason. Often, though, direct savings are offset by the administrative overhead of designing and delivering a shared services model. So the approach that our team has worked on is to start by asking the question, how can we work together to improve service delivery? And then we're designing shared services to neutralize the cost impact while focusing on improving performance.
So up here is a list of projects that the team attempted to take on. You can see there's 10 of them. There's 2 of them that we've deferred at this time, and then the other 8 are in play and somewhat, and we'll talk about that here shortly. Just talk a little bit about the 2 that we deferred. The first one is employee health clinics. That was, I think, a lot of wishful thinking, I know, on our part from Independence, where we have some cost concerns as employer costs continue to rise with health care. And we really thought it'd be a really good idea to kind of take a look at what can we do to cooperate with a wellness clinic or a health clinic. We found, after several meetings, realizing, of course, that we all have different insurance programs as they are now. You know, whether or not we're self-insured, other might be in risk pool, or a for-profit insurance company. Then you kind of get the idea that it's way more complicated than just building a building and having some kind of shared services with that. City of Independence just recently, at the end of this month, will defer, I guess if you will close our clinic and try to offer some of the wellness portions of that external to the clinic, with the idea of coming back later on. So even having a clinic, even for the City of Independence now, is found was a little cost restrictive. So we hope that there's other opportunities in the future on that, but it's going to take a lot more collaboration and really thinking down just on the basis of healthcare as a whole before we start that. The second one that's been deferred, and not deferred due to for the chiefs not trying to work together on the mental health co-responders. Our 3 police chiefs definitely work together, have a lot of interest. They came together several times. A lot of it comes down to, obviously, funding. We have 2 mental health agencies covering the 3 communities, and so the whole idea behind it is, as the police are responding to services or to calls, many of those calls are due to some sort of a mental health issue in the background. And as you would have a mental health professional co-responding with your officers, you definitely be able to free up your officers and also get help to that citizen a lot better services. The 3 agencies applied for a couple grants. The Health Forward Foundation was not successful, but some great feedback from the foundation, and they'll again be trying again for the next funding year. So we're hoping that this is a project that gets moving forward. On the remaining 8, one that I'll talk to is pretty important for myself was exit interviews. Each of the communities, we have a lot of employees. We do have some turnover. And one thing that I noticed, at least with our employees, that we would just take the exit interviews and just kind of file them away and didn't really use them for any other purpose. So as we're talking, especially with Blue Springs, about, well, what can we do? What kind of information can we get off this? We found that if we contracted with someone to take these third party, our employees or the employees that are leaving, we're more apt to actually respond with why did they really leave, and Mid-America Regional Council is the person doing that contract with us, and the idea is they will start sifting through the data, if you will, to identify possible areas in management that we need to be working on, or other type of issues that might be a theme in either one of our communities. At this time, Lee Summit is not participating in that contract, but we'll be sharing information with them. But this is definitely an example of a shared service that we're starting with 2 of the communities that is certainly scalable. And as we go forward, then we can bring other communities into it. Oh, I didn't change my slide. Read it.
Professional development was an area that we identified early on where we could partner for shared services. A professional development shared service that has been successfully implemented is supervisory training. The trainings are being delivered through Mark's Government Training Institute, with satellite courses being facilitated on a rotational basis in each of our cities. Last month, we conducted a leadership exchange We were able to facilitate 22 exchanges with employees from all levels of the organization and several different departments participating. The exchange gave employees the opportunity to shadow a peer in a neighboring city. In addition to learning how peers in other organizations perform similar jobs and roles, it also provided the opportunity to build relationships and exchange ideas. We're also in the process of working with the city clerks to develop content for a governance training for board and commission members, staff liaisons, and elected officials. The training will be delivered through the Government Training Institute. It's important to mention that the training does have the potential to be modified as needed so it can be scaled to other cities and government organizations. Whistleblower reporting is another service that we are currently working on. Mark will be asking for requests for proposals to conduct a cooperative purchase for a regional ethics, safety, and fraud hotline and case management vendor. From the preliminary research on this topic, it is anticipated that there will be cost savings for each of the cities due to the joint purchasing and reducing of overhead costs. This is another shared service that we're working on with the 3 of our cities, but it does have the potential to be scaled to other organizations and regional partners as well.
As you can see, we've been busy over the last year. Going forward, we will be monitoring the progress of the projects that are underway, and we've started identifying future projects. Some potential projects include joint compensation studies or salaries, contracted legal services, particularly in the area of collective bargaining, video storage, employee recruitment, public safety radios, and tower maintenance. This list has been compiled from discussions at our monthly meetings, and we are certain we will continue to identify other areas that benefit from the shared services model. Throughout our first year, we've learned many lessons. The items that have contributed to our success include leadership and support from elected officials and the city managers that launched this initiative and gave us direction. The project was guided by the city managers, but they delegated the project to staff with capacity and authority. We started with early wins this year, mostly in the human resources area. Our timeline and monthly meetings help to generate trust and understanding among our core team, which is allowing us to start exploring more challenging topics. Some of the challenges we have identified include we are very busy with day-to-day tasks, so it's difficult to set time aside to be strategic and experiment with new business models. All 3 cities have their commonalities, but we succeed and struggle in different areas. It's hard to figure out new models in which risk is fairly proportioned. Focusing on easy wins could also be a challenge if we stayed focused on the easier topics and shy away from the more difficult projects. And not all of our initiatives or projects will result in dollar savings, but in efficiency and productivity, improved service delivery is more difficult to measure than budget savings. So I'll be happy to field any questions if you have any. An update on a couple of our projects are the exit interview process started in October for us. So we started notifying any employee that has left the city in October to allow them to do the exit interview. And then our first supervisory training was in September, and then the next one is actually this week, and it's a positive corrective action for employees, for managers to do employee training.
Is there a question they're going to go?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm interested in the mental health aspect. I know that we're talking about the communities, but what about CJC and other entities like that and participation? We have so much problem with suicides, and we have no place, I know, in Blue Springs. Crittenden Center closed, so we really have nothing here.
Yeah, I'm not sure how those other organizations would play into this program. I know we've made some strides with our program initially, even though we didn't get the grant, by Midwest Comprehensive Health working with the police department to get office space in this building. So we have an agreement to do that, but there's no funding exchanging on that. But I do think those are areas that we would continue to explore if the grants were to become available and we were to pursue that.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Johnson?
Anybody else?
No.
Yeah. I guess just one of the things I was thinking of when I think of the power of Mark and all the different communities that just in Eastern Jackson County is really go through the whole area and look at all the economic incentives over the past 20 years or so and get a balance to see what do we think was really a win and what were some of the bad losses or so that didn't quite work out as well, and what are the pitfalls of giving economic incentives at a municipal level? What are the trade-offs and who wins and who loses? So
great. I think we can add that for topic for our next meeting.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Mr. Johnson?
Lauren, it sounded like you just got a research project. So that's what I heard. Mayor and council, one, I want to thank you for supporting this initiative. As Christine indicated, this is on top of everything else that's being done. And I just want to really thank Mark, Lauren, David Warm, and the team downtown off of Broadway that has for numerous years supported local government management, not just through this. This isn't just the latest come. This is part of an ongoing philosophy of supporting local government and trying to create a region that operates efficiently and effectively. And so I want to just recognize that and say thank you. Thank you to Christine and Brian and the other members of Lee Summit and the team. What we learned through these processes, and Christine did highlight the fact that it was delegated, right? So I think Zach Walker and Steve Arbo and I had a meeting, and we sat around the room with Lauren and we said, yeah, this sounds like a great idea. Now you guys go figure it out. And I think they're doing a really good job so far. And what we have to be cognizant of here in local government is that maybe what we were doing 10 years ago maybe needs to change and isn't working today, and we have to be nimble, and we have to emerge, we have to evolve, and we have to collaborate. And so I think this is a perfect example of where this is working, and I hope that we can continue to bring back additional success stories for this council.
Your Honor, if I may?
Yes.
Just coming back from the National League of Cities, where we get to kind of interact with fellow council members from across the country, and it's amazing how ahead we are of a lot of the country and some of the programs and stuff that we do here in the Midwest, and especially in Kansas City as far as cooperation, both through what you're doing here, our police department. We seem to be, I don't want to say cutting edge, but we seem to be a little ahead of a great part of our country when we sit down and talk with other people. They wish they had what we have here. So thank you all.
Certainly the collaboration between the 3 of the 4 major cities on this side of the state can be used as a model for not only other areas within the state, but I think nationally, I think we have a story to tell. Mm-hmm. And having the regional planning organization, MARC, being involved is certainly a plus. Mm-hmm. And so I think we just stay the course, and I think we're going to find economy of scale, some opportunities there. So I appreciate what all of you are doing, and would just say stay the course.
Thank you, Mayor. If I could, the other team members in Blue Springs that have participated in some way in these efforts includes Chief Munns, Cheryl Morgan's helping with the boards and commissions, Matt Wright helped with the leadership exchange, Sue Hyman's been working on the HR training and exit interview stuff. So even within our organization, we're sharing some of the... Great. Yeah.
Well, thank you all for coming out tonight.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
and sharing it with the rest of the council. Being on the MARC board, I kind of knew what was going on ahead of time. Okay, that's going to bring us to mayoral announcements. Without repeating the whole script on tomorrow night is the night. And as I look at the weather forecast, it's not going to be as cold tomorrow night as it was last Mayor's Christmas tree lighting ceremony. I froze. But we invite you to come back. We're going to go to Thoughts to Ponder. Tonight comes from Warren Buffett, and I quote, "It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it," end quote. We're going to go to our city attorney for a motion to so move.
Your Honor, at this time, the appropriate motion would be to move that this public body go into closed session pursuant to Section 610.021, subparagraph 1, revised statutes of Missouri for the purpose of privileged communications between a governmental body or its representative and legal counsel, including litigation, and that any minutes, documents, and other records discussed or taken during the closed session remain closed, and that this regular open session of this body stand adjourned at the completion of the executive session.
So moved. So moved. You moved it?
Yeah.
Who's going to second it?
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Erickson.
Aye.
Edmondson.
Aye.
Culpepper.
Aye.
Kaler.
Aye.
Levacy.
Aye.
Fowler.
Aye.
Mayor Ross.
Aye.
Carried unanimously.
Okay, we're going to be excused to the conference room for an executive session. You guys can leave. You can hang around. It's your discretion on what you want to do.